Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? I've just been handed an urgent and horrifying news story. And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
The thing that hip-hop taught me the most is not
60% of the time, it works every time.
It smells more Chinese, doesn't it? Sort of sweet and sour.
You can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backwards.
Tell me why.
Ain't nothing but a heartache.
Tell me why.
And the only way to do great work is to love what you do. If you haven't found it yet, keep looking and don't settle.
So this is stupid.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
And most important, have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. They somehow already know what you truly want to become.
Cool.
Stay hungry, stay foolish.
Damn!
Boy, that escalated quickly.
Now you put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. You put water into a bottle, it becomes the bottle. You put it in a teapot, it becomes the teapot. Now water can flow or it can crash. Be water, my friend.
We're back. So today's podcast is talking about the comfort zone. Is your life better living inside or outside the comfort zone?
When we were talking about recording this episode, you said that you had a goal, which is to have at least 12 episodes on this podcast. So why? Why 12?
It was basically one for every month of the year because I didn't know if we would enjoy it or not, and I didn't know the regularity of us recording. But because of everything that's happened, it turns out we have recorded more than we planned, and it has gone pretty well. I've got some good feedback, and we're trying to learn what works, what doesn't in terms of audio, video. So yeah, I hit a personal goal of mine. I think that's it.
That's great. I was just confused. 12. Such an odd number. But hey, we achieved this in... When did we start? 2 months ago? 3 months ago?
I think at the end of January is when we started.
Yeah, and now it's almost the end of April.
Yeah, so we've racked up like a podcast every week, which is, the normal schedule, right? Which is great. Like we're keeping up with a lot of the other podcasts that are out there.
That's great. We made it. Whee! Celebratory 12 episode. I hope you guys enjoy this.
Yeah, and you notice that we also have a new intro, which is really long. So I apologize for that, but it's just stupid things. It's just stupid things I added from my childhood and just like kind of give it some more personality. Let's hope we don't get sued for copyright purposes. And if we do, the intro will be different. But I think we're small enough now to kind of just take that as a liberty.
Yep, we're gonna do it until someone narcs on us.
Okay, all right. Well, with that, let's get straight into the episode. Jess, how do you usually sign off?
Stay awesome, people. Don't give a fuck.
All right, peace, guys.
Peace.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Ranting Bananas podcast. I am Jessica. I am half Thai and half Swiss, which makes me a banana. Yeah. Although right now, since we've been in lockdown, I'm not really banana color-like. I am super pale, but I'm working on it. I'm trying to go out at least once a day for 10 minutes. And one time I did it at noon, and it was a mistake, and I will never do it again, because noon in Thailand, it's not the time where you go out. No. But we're joined here by our other banana, Chris.
What's up? Yes, half Vietnamese, half Chinese, born and raised in England. Your boy, very banana-like. And we also have two other people on the line.
Yeah. So today's episode is all about why we should go out of the comfort zone. The comfort zone sucks and we have to get out of here. So I invited people who get out of the comfort zone all the fucking time, and I'm really inspired by these kind of people. We can start with Kai because we live in the same building. So Kai is the Southeast Asian ambassador of Bacardi, and very recently he started Cocktail Critters. You want to talk about it?
Yeah, hey guys. Glad to be here.
Hey Kai.
I know, we live in the same building, but due to social distancing and all those 10 or so floors, that's planning.
Yeah, 10 floors apart, please.
That's plenty. That's plenty. Yeah, so where should I begin? Should I start with Bacardi? Start with Cocktail Critters?
I mean, whatever you want
Anything?
to talk about.
So I'm going to go way back just for a second here, just for
Sure.
a glimpse. And basically, my first stepping out of my comfort zone was leaving Hawaii. So, like the two of you introduced yourselves, I am also a banana. So I am Chinese American, born and raised in Honolulu, Hawaii. And for the first 24 years of my life, I was very much your local Hawaiian American Asian. And that got boring. That got very, very boring. So I up and left, saved as much money as I could, and I moved to Australia, moved to New Zealand, I moved to Phuket in Thailand, and finally Bangkok, where I am right now. About 4.5 years ago, I competed in a cocktail competition. If you guys aren't aware that that's even a thing, that's okay. Most people. But I won. So I won in Thailand. I competed globally. And after finishing within the top 8 globally, I decided to branch out a bit more. So I moved around from bar to bar. I done hotel management as well. But even that got a bit tiring. I needed another challenge. So I sought after working directly for Bacardi, the host of the cocktail competition. So I knocked on their doors. I knocked on the doors of Bacardi China, Bacardi India, Bacardi Thailand, Philippines, and the list goes on. And about 6 months after that, Bacardi approached me with a job offer. And I've been their brand ambassador ever since. Now, about a year ago, January 2019, I decided to start my own business. As if I wasn't busy enough with Bacardi, I thought, okay, it'd be great to have something that's my own as well. And within Bacardi, we make a lot of accessories, we make hats and pins and things that bartenders often like to use or wear, what we call bartender swag. And it could be an apron, it could be a t-shirt. But I thought, how about creating a brand where it is brandless, or at least alcohol brandless? Create something for everybody. Create the same things that the bartenders enjoy wearing, but can be enjoyed by a consumer. Someone who sits in that cocktail bar as opposed to making the cocktails in the bar. So I came up with Cocktail Critters, is the name of the business. It combines my own designs with my own designs in t-shirts, in hats, and particularly pins. So you get these little metallic pins that have both a cocktail and a critter in it. And it's been doing well. I've now shipped
Pins
over.
are so cute.
Yeah, thank you.
I actually buy them. Like when I saw design, I was like, "Oh, this is so cute!" And he also has a design for a corgi. So I am a sucker for everything with corgis.
Yeah, you have a black cat one as well for your cat.
Yeah, and one time he took care of my cat, and he abused my cat.
100%.
To take pictures with the pins.
You know what? That's the most likes she's ever had on Instagram, I bet.
She has become internet famous after that.
With all of 20 likes. Yep. New business after all.
Modeling for cats.
Absolutely. So yeah, without saying much more, it's been going on for about a year. I've shipped over 25 countries, which is unheard of for a startup business out of my own home. You know, I had a place just as big as Jess's, you can see in the video, and I had to actually move into a larger place just to fit my inventory.
Yeah.
It is hopefully the definition of a startup business. And
I mean, it is.
you know, after COVID, I hope things pick up the pace again, and the business will accelerate.
Nice.
But yeah,
Thank you for
that's
the
me.
introduction.
Yeah,
So many things going on.
I know.
And on the other side, we have the only non-banana of the group.
Yep.
He's so pale, he reflects light.
Yeah, I'm almost translucent.
Yeah. Hampus just moved to Thailand from Sweden. During
Yeah.
our warm-up, I wrongly said Switzerland because I was multitasking. So, yeah.
Thinking
Sorry.
about home.
Yeah, I was missing home.
Yeah.
But yeah, he moved from Sweden and he used to work in chemical engineering, correct? That's the name of the field. And now he works in gaming. Like it took 2 days for you to accept the offer to not just move country, but change your career completely and
change everything.
continent.
It's very impulsive, but I had been thinking about it for quite some time. I can also go back a bit and just explain like a little bit of when it all started, because I've been doing a lot of things outside my comfort zone. And what actually started it was when I was a very new employee at my previous company. We lost one of the higher-ups, the guy who was directly above me. And no one in the team wanted to take the job, so we had no replacement. And basically the team, we worked in like a little shift team. So everyone talked with each other and they were like, who's going to do it? No one really wants to take the responsibility and stuff. So I managed to get a deal with them where I said that if you all help me and like really put effort into it, I can do it. I can put on paper that I'm second in command or whatever. So that happened. My boss was very happy. Things started going great. I took more and more responsibility, and I actually quite enjoyed it. I was pretty scared at the beginning because I never had a high position before, like a manager position, but it was kind of exciting. And I think after a month or something at this new position, the shift leader decided to go on like 6 months like new kid vacation. He was just like, so can you be the substitute shift leader? I was like, what? I have no clue what I'm doing, but sure, why not? And again, I went to my like super top boss, and I was like, okay, so I've just started the second person in command type job. Now the shift leader's gone. I can do it, but I'm gonna need a lot of help. And it was the same story. Things started out a bit chaotic, but eventually I got used to it, and this kind of like forced me into a mentality where if I see a chance to improve on something, like a skill that I want to learn, or just a chance to improve a part of my life that I'm not excelling at, even if I feel weird about it or anxious, I just hop on it immediately. I want to do it because I know that if I can deal with the chaos initially, I'll learn something from it, and it's very useful long term. So I did that for about a year or two after that changed. He came back, obviously a bit shorter, but they were happy with what I like my performance. So I kept doing it for a while. In the end, I couldn't learn more at that place, so I decided over 2 nights that I was going to go on a 6-month backpacking journey at first. So I quit my job, I sold all my stuff, and then I went backpacking. I landed in Nepal. I didn't do any research before going, so it's like, where am I? What's this language? What money do they use? How do I get to my hostel? I was like, what the fuck am I doing? And again, it's a bit of a cliche for people who went backpacking to talk about their backpacking trip, but it taught me a lot, because I was on day one, I was already breaking down, what am I doing? I have no clue where I am. This was a big mistake. But eventually I learned the little tricks, and I started trusting myself in in this weird and new environment, and that was really a cool experience. And after 6 months, I went back to the old job. I needed to gather more money. Um, my initial plan was to go study in Japan because I had been in Japan 3 months and I really liked it and wanted to go back. But I had some health issues and needed. I didn't gather enough money for that, so I reached out to my childhood friend who works with me and Jessica, and I was like, "Hey, man, I want to get back to Asia. Do you have some job for me in Bangkok?" And he was saying, "Yes, but we need you pronto. Can you decide and come here in 15 days?" And I had a lot to think about that night and the day like after, but eventually I said yes because I couldn't learn anything more in my previous job. I was excited about the idea of going here, and yeah, I just jumped on it. I was like, yeah, man, I'm down. I'll book the flight tickets. And then I went in and had a nerve-wracking conversation with my boss, but it worked out fine. And now I'm here.
Yeah. And you also do photography in your free time.
Yes. It's my number one biggest hobby. I love doing it.
Thank you guys for the introductions. Yeah, let's jump into the conversation. Like one of the things that I wanted to talk about is what is your definition of the comfort zone, though? So we talk about moving countries, which pretty much that is getting out of your comfort zone because that's where you grew up. That's all you know, and then you are in a completely new country. But does it have to be only that? Can be more, right?
Yeah, I think
definitely.
anything. I think anything that's outside like your routine could be like outside your comfort zone. So everything you do routinely is like autopilot. Whenever you break the autopilot, that's when you get out of the comfort zone. When you actually have to engage and think about stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Another
That's
way
how
to
I
look at this
define
is, taking risks or having risky behavior. It doesn't necessarily mean to do things recklessly or carelessly, but whatever it is that you're doing, that if you believe it's taking a risk or there might be that risk of failure, I think is another way of looking at taking a step out of your comfort zone. Like you said, travel is it's an easy one to peg with a lot of people. The four of us on this have all stepped out of our comfort zone for that very reason. But more than that, starting a podcast. Hey, who knows how many people are going to listen? But it's doing it, it's making the effort. And that's certainly something that can be applauded. Starting a business, taking a new job, anything that there might be an immediate downfall, certainly is stepping out of your comfort zone. But it's to be, I don't want to use the word cherished, it's to be appreciated for the fact that if you do succeed, it's that much more valuable to you as the person, or it will bring you that much more value to your future, whether that's future experience or future growth or future education, that it's only for the betterment of you. And that's fantastic.
Yeah, so I think if I was to define inside and outside of comfort zone, inside is everything that's inherently easy, right? Comfortable, things that require little to no effort at all or no mental resistance. So like when you first learn driving, that's outside, it's something alien, it's something that you don't know. But once you drive over and over again, it's almost autopilot, as you said, Kai. You don't really think about it. You just go to work and then A to B, and you don't think about it, and that's really easy. When you're outside it, it requires a lot of or more mental resistance, right? Maybe something you haven't done, like meditating, is a classic one, right? It's like, damn, I want to sit here for 10 minutes and do nothing. Like that's weird, right? For everybody in this dopamine filled world. So yeah, I think it's that like mental resistance. And there are definitely some cliche ones, like learning a new language, getting a new job, and a bunch of them. Public speaking is a classic one. People are really afraid to speak in front of large groups of people. Exercising, classic, right? Or eating healthy, or whatever it could be. So what are some of, like, if we talk about comfort zones, and you guys have given examples of how you've been outside of it, but what are some of these things that you still want to tackle, like personally or professionally? What are some of those things that that's still on your list and you're not quite there yet? Jessica, let's go for you. What are some of yours? Learn Thai. Kidding.
Dude, I tried to meditate, but that's no. It's the hardest thing ever to just sit down and do nothing and just think, which is weird because I feel like I used to do this way more often, kind of not even thinking about it when I was younger. And the older, it's not even the older I get, the more tech stuff that I get, the less I can do this. Being alone doing nothing, it's I don't even want to say terrifying. It's just uncomfortable. It's very uncomfortable. And it's crazy. It's just sitting down and doing nothing. How hard could that be? But it's the hardest thing, one of the hardest thing I ever done here. I would say that for me, comfort zone is not about like learning a new language or something like that. For me, it's more about trying to be a different person all the time. One of the things that I heard was that there is this girl, she said that every time she does something, she asks herself, is this something that the person that I want to be would do? So that I would say it's my kind of, comfort zone, always trying to get to the person that I want to be, because right now who I am already in the comfort zone. It doesn't matter how many times I change. Every time I change, that new change becomes the new comfort zone. So it's always trying, to improve myself and get out of there. That's what I've been working on, but it's not working.
Why isn't it working?
I am playing Animal Crossing for so much time.
Yeah.
It's been 2 weeks and I spent more than 85 hours on it. 85 hours.
Wow.
That's 2 weeks of work in 2 weeks.
I'm so glad I didn't buy it. I'm so glad. Oh my god. Time flushed down the drain.
Hey, time that you enjoy wasting is not time wasted. But it has been the hardest thing to get out of this loop where now before I was in the loop of waking up, stretching, doing, some exercise, getting a coffee, getting ready for the day. Now my day, it's I wake up and I check turnip prices because I want to become a millionaire.
Yeah, that sounds legit. Turnip prices. Yeah. I heard they're pretty crazy now. Yeah, lucrative.
Dude, it's been the hardest thing to stop doing it, and it doesn't matter how many times I tell myself this is not the person that I want to be. I am just I need to become a millionaire on the game.
I think it's because the environment you build, like whenever you wanna change, there's always a lot of resistance, but you tend to just choose what's easiest. So people who want to like lose weight, for example, if they eliminate all the things they shouldn't eat at home, like if this is something you want to do, I watched a YouTube video about a guy talking about how he compared motivation with like environment and discipline, and he said that motivation is a very good spur of the moment thing. If you want to change, if you want to face that resistance, and you have a great spike of motivation like late at night, which for some reason happens to a lot of people, me included, that will work that night, but the day after you're not going to have the same feeling anymore. It's an emotion. Discipline is another thing. It's like you can train willpower to become stronger, but the number one thing is environment. So if you're waking up and you're playing Animal Crossing every day and you want to stop, then like changing your environment into where that gets harder, or like an annoying thing to do, like maybe you can use parental controls for yourself, so the Switch doesn't unlock Animal Crossing until like after 10 p.m. or something, or like I don't know, just not charging it during night, so you have to charge it for a while first, or something like this. So there's a like you need to do something before you can access the game. Yeah, and then the easier path is to just do your routine while it's charging. So like the environment forces you into thinking differently. Perhaps. I think that's a good strat.
Yeah, that is a good strat. That's what I've been doing with my phone. One of the habits that I was trying to change was use my phone less. So iPhone right now, I guess Samsung also has this kind of feature where you have a time down zone, so like a downtime zone. So from 10:30 until I think mine is 8:30, all of my apps get blocked. And unless I input a code, I am not able to use those apps, which made me use my phone way less. It took me a while. In the beginning, I was just using the code all the time and be like, yeah, I don't care.
When your
Just
code
gonna
is
do it.
0000, you're going to be using it pretty
Yeah, it's a little bit more complex. But it can't be too complex because I will forget it. And then I'm just, oh my god, I blocked Google Maps. And now I'm in the middle of nowhere. And I have no idea how to get out of here.
It's okay. I mean, you don't really get lost between your kitchen and your bedroom during quarantine, so.
Oh yeah,
that's all right.
True. I don't know. You know, I have really, really bad sense of direction. I could get lost, pretty much. But yeah, making your environment kind of go against you. Yeah, I guess that's a way to put yourself into that discomfort zone. So one of the things that I believe in is that being in the discomfort, it's like training a muscles. So when you exercise, you train your muscle because you want them to get stronger, right? So one of the things that you have to do is also train your brain to be able to get kind of comfortable being in the discomfort zone. So yeah.
But is it always a good thing? Sorry, but is it always a good thing? Like subjecting yourself to discomfort? Like there's a reason why the comfort zone exists, right? It's safe. Like you don't put your hand in the fire. It protects your world in a very different way. So like, I guess I'm going to pose this question to this room. Is subjecting yourself discomfort, does it equal upgrading yourself as a human being? Or are there potential environments where it's okay to be in our comfort zone? Because I think everybody feels like they have to get out of their comfort zone, right? That's kind of a thing. But is it always a good thing?
Well, that's an interesting point. You know, there are a lot of people who say, oh, I should be out of my comfort zone. But to that point, you know, you probably worked very hard to get exactly there, right? Whether it's work as a cliche example, if you work 4, 5, 6 years and you've gotten to a point where everything works very efficiently, you are very good at your job, and you are very comfortable, who's to say you need to take that step up, right? You've worked for years to get to a point where I can show up every day. I'm good. I can do my work, not have to worry about it when I go home. But if I turn up the next day with a newer position, higher position, I'm back in that stress mode. There's always going to be the two sides of the coin. I think if you as the person value what that discomfort equals, then yes, there is something to gain. But if it does not, then no, by all means, why not stay in your comfort?
Right. There's almost a stigma around people who live in their comfort zone, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Like they kind of get shunned or maybe alienated. Like, oh damn, you're lazy. But actually, they don't want to be a manager. They just want to be an IC and they just want to grind. They just want to code. Right. That's all they want to do, and that's completely fine. But yeah, I think it's interesting. Okay, so to this point, right? How do you make decisions of what to tackle? Like, what are some of the things that go into your decision process of, okay, I know that's outside my comfort zone. You know,
how do you make that? What's the framework that you guys use, or what do you consider when you're like, it's outside my comfort zone, I want to go get that? What comes into your mind?
For me, it's like it all leads to just like something as simple as happiness. Like, will it make me more happy if I acquire this skill set? Am I closer to, I guess it's dream chasing. Like for me it is, because I have a certain, I wrote a bucket list. I think this is a great idea for anyone. It's a cliche thing to have, but it's awesome. I know exactly where I want to be, or at least parts of what I want to achieve in life, what I wanna see, where I wanna go. So I have it like sort of mapped out. And whenever I think about something that is, well, for example, moving to a new country, it's like, what will I learn from this? It's a long-term thing. Like, will I acquire new skills that'll help me achieve my goals? Is it okay, I think that's a good rule of thumb. Like, if you ever stand in the crossroads where you choose, like, should I do this massive new thing that's super uncomfortable for me or not, you should look at the big picture and try to really think about it. Maybe doing this once or twice, like once every month or once every other month. Like, where am I now? Where am I going? Are my choices correct? For, like, what am I doing now? Is it leading to what I want or not? If it's not leading to what you want and you're uncomfortable, then you should probably change that or remove something. If you're stuck and you have this new opportunity and it seems as though it's getting you closer to your goals, then even though there's initial like resistance to doing it, I think it's like, just do it. It's gonna feel way better when you get over that initial resistance, for sure. So that's how I think about it. It's just, does it make me more or less happy, I guess, in the long run.
Yeah, Kai, do you have your own way to think about this?
It is quite similar to what Hap has already mentioned. It's simply a pros and cons list, right? What are the pros of doing this? What are the cons of doing this? And I'll give you a real example. I thought TikTok was absurd.
TikTok is the best.
Okay, and that's what I got from a lot of my close friends. Like, oh my god, you need to be on this. Your business needs to be on this. Even though they're really, from what I can tell, there's not a whole lot of branding going on as opposed to Instagram. However, it does seem that there are branding opportunities within TikTok. And for my brand, which is quite fun-loving, I thought, I can do this. I'm a pretty creative person, I'd like to think, but I'm no Instagram model. Right, let's put it that way. So stepping out of my comfort zone in terms of, oh shoot, if I do TikTok, what are the pros to it? What are the cons? Cons, I look and feel like an idiot. I have all of 10 followers as of today, 3 days after I started. However, what are the pros? The potential exposure for my business is exponential, and it's limitless. I've seen these random accounts where they only have 100 followers. Most of their posts only get 500 views, but they'll have one successful video that has 10 million views, and that traffic driven to a product that might be on their page could completely change the game of whatever they might be selling. So for that reason, that uplift, that pro, outweighs the con of me feeling and looking like an idiot. And I've spent 2 hours today working on TikTok. I'm going to spend another hour over sunset in about 15-20 minutes. So yeah, it's pros and cons. There's going to be both to each scenario, but if one outweighs the other, I think that determines the decision.
Makes sense. Jessica, any thoughts? Anything to add?
Damn, you guys. See, that's why I said, like, you guys are inspiring, because my rule of thumb is, does it feel good? I'll do it. Does it not feel good? I won't do it. I go with gut feeling. Does this decision feel good? I'm just gonna, close my eyes and do it. Every time I had a big change in my life, I didn't think about it much. I just did it instantly. Okay, I got the opportunity. Someone said, "Do you want to do it?" I'd be like, "Okay, yeah, let's do it." I wouldn't stop thinking. Okay, does it have pros? Does it have cons? I'm like, no, I'll just do it. Okay, let's go. Sometimes it's a bad thing because it got me into bad projects. Sometimes it turned out well, but I should stop thinking about it a little bit more instead of being like, in my heart, does it feel good? Maybe.
No,
yes.
but intuition is a powerful thing, though, right? Like, I don't think we typically follow that enough anyway. I think we are kind of bogged down by all this logic, and sometimes, well, not sometimes, we are emotional beings, so we can't always justify, the two sides of the coin, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was watching this video, and because of my point earlier of like, how do we make decisions based on staying in your comfort zone and out of your comfort zone? Because some things out of your comfort zone, it's like burning yourself with a fire. That's that's obviously bad. So not to say everything out of the comfort zone is good, right? Being safe is also obviously very important. So this guy proposed a value-based decision-making process, right? So basically what you guys said, like, what is the value it brings to me? So things like, what kind of person do I want to be at the end of the day? Or where do I want to go? Do I want to be rich? Do I want to be famous? Do I want to, acquire new skills? What do I want to learn? And then traits you want to adopt, right? Like, I want to be more empathetic. I want to be more charitable. I want to be... So those are the things that could potentially help us when we try to navigate this minefield of, do I really want to learn that new language? Like, just because everybody's doing it, just because we're all in Bangkok, like, do we actually want to do it, right? It's not because everybody said it's cool, like to get into Bitcoin or whatever you want to get into, right? I think there's a lot of those things.
Say that.
Well, yeah, it was such a hype, right? So it's interesting, yeah, it's very interesting. Right. Okay, Jess, do you have another question?
Well, does living outside of the comfort zone mean having a good life? Which in the end kind of goes into what you also said, because doesn't matter if you're sometimes being in the comfort zone, it's good, but does being risk-taking or always trying something new, is it really that good?
I think you need one foot in each camp, because like at a certain point some people just go completely manic about this. They're like, I'm gonna seek discomfort, I'm gonna train my brain into loving being like anxious and nervous, because then I know that I'm learning new things. It's not necessarily true. Like, it's if you make a huge change, like you take a huge risk and you have no clue what the future holds, it's absolutely nerve-wracking. Like, depending on what you do, of course, some things are smaller level and some things are larger levels of nerve-wracking, but like, some people take huge mortgages and they put their entire lives on the line, and if their business fails, for example, they're done. Like, they don't have an exit strategy, they go completely all in. And I think a very small amount of people can actually do that, go completely all in and be able to handle the stress that follows. So I think it depends on how much you're risking. Yeah, it's the pros and cons list again, but you definitely have to think about if it's truly worth it or not, and you also have to how do I say this in English? I lost the last one, but yeah, it's
say it in Swedish. Say it in Swedish. It's fine.
Oh, no.
People would understand. Yeah,
Definitely.
I don't think so.
Definitely. We are going to learn Swedish just for this episode.
Cool. I can teach you all I know. It's gonna take a while.
But actually, one of the discussion that we had, so it was me, you, and one of our co-workers. we're talking about that not everybody has the same means or tools to be able to always take this kind of risk.
Yeah,
Sometimes
that's
people
true.
have families, so they really want to open this business, but they can't do it because they really have to pay schools for their children. Sometimes it could be just, you know, external factors come into play as well
Yeah.
at this point, and not everybody has this um, opportunity to be able to get out of their comfort zone sometimes, and that's one of the things that it's kind of a pet peeve. But I don't like all of these life coaches on Instagram saying, yes, if you say that you want to do it, you can do it and you will do it, you just have to take that step and do it. And I'm like, yeah, okay, true, but not everybody can do that. At the same time, I think that I don't know how I would explain this in a way that it's clear enough, but everybody can do anything they want, but not everybody will take that risk to do it. So yes, everyone has the potential of becoming a billionaire, but not everybody will be willing to take that risk and that discomfort. And most of the time, it's not just because of them; it's also because of external factors. Where do they come from, and how they live their life? I mean, we have stories of people coming from their garages and then becoming, Jeff Bezos and Steve Jobs. So everyone has that opportunity, but then I think it does take somehow a trait of risk taking to be able to get there.
Yeah.
Can you train the brain in risk taking? And can you get addicted to living outside the comfort zone?
Yeah, I think
so. I think it's easier than people believe as well. If say that you take 5 to 10 like really big risks and the first 5 immediately pays off, like it's like a shortcut in life. You get exactly what you want. It goes super fast. You get more money, like nice house, whatever. You're succeeding extremely rapidly, and then you see this big new risk, the 6th or 7th time, and like, sure, you may think about it, and like there's also the balance of wanting to keep the stuff you already have, so you might not want to risk all of it. But I think the more, what's that called? It is actually a phenomenon in psychology where
it's called gambling addiction.
Yeah, sure, you can call it that. Yeah, that works. But if like when they look at animals, for example, like when they fight each other over mates and stuff, the one that is the win effect or something like this. Like the one animal that wins one time is more likely to win the second time because it's already like it feels stronger and more powerful just because of the fact that it won. And I think that you can definitely train your brain into loving this type of like discomfort seeking. But I also think that it's long term, it may not turn out as well as you think it will. So I wouldn't advise anyone to just like manically seek out discomfort for the sake of it. Yeah, you definitely need a foot in both camps, for sure.
Yeah, because there's that movie, right, with Jim Carrey called Yes Man.
Oh, yeah.
And he just wildly says yes to everything and all opportunities because he said no so many times. And of course, that movie is a comedy, so it gets a bit out of control. But yeah, I agree with you. You're completely right. I don't think saying yes to everything will be sensible. I think it'll be fun for like a month, but you pretty much just got to get work out the door. Like, you pretty much got to have your own business or something like that, right? Mm-hmm. You've got to just be super risky. That's interesting. Okay.
Yeah. I think the most valuable lesson that I learned was learning how to say no to some opportunities. Because it's so easy to just get caught on and be like, well, I want to do everything, especially in this age and time. And when you're young, every opportunity feels great. Like, yes, I want to do everything that I can do. But learning to say no and be like, well, this doesn't really align with my values. This is not, like Hampo said, this is not taking me where I want to be in the future. Then say no.
Yeah.
It's such a hard skill, to be honest. It's not easy to say no. I think it's easier sometimes to say yes rather than say no. What do you
Yeah,
guys think?
I agree with you. And a lot of the time, you wanna like being in the comfort zone is stressful. So some of the times where I like actively choose, I like I know that I fall into this trap sometimes where I do something for the discomfort itself because I tell myself that it builds character. So whenever I'm in a stressful situation, I handle it way better if it's like practicing for being in chaos or like a stressful situation all the time. If you continue to push yourself to learn new things and do things that aren't comfortable. And that probably happens to a lot of people that yeah, doesn't learn to say no. um, yeah, it happens to me as well sometimes.
Yeah, in my old job, me and my boss were really close to each other. It's the same as now. Me and my, I am lucky with bosses. I always get close to them. But he gave me this opportunity to be a game designer and then or a product designer, and I said yes to both. Later, I found out that you can't do both. There's just no time to do it. I got so burned out. I started to not be as efficient anymore, and I have so many things. I wanted to do both of them because the opportunity to do both, like, this is my dream, creating video games, but I also love creating products. And I had to realize that I have to pursue only one thing, and I had to decide. And I went with product design because it just felt better. I just had more fun doing it, and again, going with my gut feeling, I just liked it more. And then I am lucky that it's actually the thing that I want to do. Instead of me pursuing, game design and then realizing, oh, I don't really like it. So I'm lucky in that sense. But so hard. I wanted to do everything. I wanted to do everything, and then it came back and bit me in the ass. Yeah.
Yeah, I think product designers, it's more well versed, right? You can step into different industries, whereas a game designer is very kind of narrow in your vertical. Product designers could be, you can work in any industry, right? Well, any software industry, I would say. But yeah. Okay, what about, so like, I want to go back to the point because of like specific things that maybe you guys want to tackle. Like, what's on your radar in terms of outside your comfort zone that you're not yet there and you wanna go towards that? Because I think that's quite interesting. What's on your radar at the moment, Kai?
Yeah, so right now on my radar, it's really anything that helps me plan my business. So I've been starting to learn about FBA, fulfilled by Amazon, dropshipping, and anything that has to do with e-commerce. All of it is completely outside of my comfort zone. I have no idea what I'm doing apart from running my own online shop. So working with third-party entities, finding out who I can work with from where. Now and post-COVID, it's a struggle. It's a true struggle. So that's something that I'm continually working on. Keep in mind, this is after my Bacardi work hours, so my day is pretty
Need
busy.
to state it in case this episode is listened by your
just to
Don't
put in
worry.
perspective of comfort of the day, right? We talk so much about what types of activities we find uncomfortable, but just putting my life kind of on this chat room here, you might work 7, 8, 9 hours doing your day job, and whatever else you plan to do during your day could be cooking, could be fitness and whatnot. So having two businesses, it really dries up what's left in the well. But it's worth it. Right? I've already done my evaluation. I figured out that the pros outweigh the cons in this, so the direction is there.
Yeah, trying to do it
Great.
all.
Yeah, good. I think that's awesome to hear. Hampus, what about you?
Yeah, I actually have some things. It's also part of the reason to why I went here is because this gives me an opportunity to try like pitching and selling stuff, and it's not really. This is a problem that I encountered as a freelance photographer back in Sweden. Um, my pictures are perfectly fine. Like I'm not gonna boast and say that I'm the best photographer. I'm definitely not, but they're on a level where I feel comfortable selling them. It's just that I'm not very good at pitching and selling products. So in this like in this company where I am now, that's an opportunity that I may be able to try out. I will be able to talk to new people, um, introduce them to a new product, sell them on the idea, and so on and so on. And um, again, this was a huge pro for me when choosing to go here. I was like, this is a problem I've had for a while. This is something I need to learn, and well, here I get to do it with someone I've known for a long back, because my current boss is a childhood friend. Actually, I know him from when we were kids. So I was like, I can do it with a friend. It's in an industry that I love. Like, even if I haven't worked with gaming that long, I've been heavily invested as a hobby, of course, all my life. And yeah, this is the like I get to try and become better at selling. So that's the big one that I'm doing now, actually.
Hampus, sell me this pen.
Shit.
Go for it. Go for
I
it.
just had to do that. I just had to throw it out there. Sell me this pen, man. Come on. No.
Wait, the Apple pen or a pen? Because there's a difference.
Apple pen.
Well, whatever. Yeah, whatever you want to sell me. Yeah, it's fine. Jess, what's yours? What's your thing that's on the list?
My list. What have I been working on? I've been trying to. Well, I've been streaming again on Twitch, so that's the thing. Trying to get out there, trying to build kind of a persona that I want to build around the gaming industry. The whole reason why I'm doing this, Twitch streaming, it's because in the end I want to get to a point where I am financially independent. I don't have to work for someone in the future. I just work for myself. Although I don't want to have employees. Having employees, it's stressful. Telling them, well, we are in lockdown. I don't have a job for you. This is gonna like wreck me. Like, imagine like one of the things that people are saying now is that whenever they will try to find a job in the future, they will ask companies, so how did you handle this whole COVID situation, and then make decisions based on that. Because if you like laid off all of your employees and you told them, yeah, you cannot work from home, then yeah, I don't want to join your company. Yeah. But yeah, I've been trying to get myself to a point where I can work for myself. That's it, and just have to worry about myself, and at the same time, just do whatever I want.
Makes sense.
Yeah, and it has to be in gaming because I can't play Animal Crossing for 85 hours in 2 weeks. If gaming is not my passion, then I don't know what it is.
yeah. Right.
It's just a fun industry. I really love it. Even though you said that product design is something where you can kind of go anywhere, everybody needs a product designer. I think finding a niche, it's also, it's something interesting that you could do, especially if you're so passionate about it. I could talk about games for a day and not be tired about it. The second time that me and Chris went to this UX meeting, I found another guy who is a super nerd about Dungeons and Dragons, and I swear, this girl tried to join our conversation, and we were just going on about gaming, Dungeons and Dragons, and gaming.
She quickly dropped out. She was like, "What are these guys talking about?" Oh, okay, I don't want to network with these people.
UX, UI, who cares about that? Let's talk about Dungeons and Dragons.
Makes sense.
And that's my comfort zone, gaming, which is not a bad comfort zone.
Guys,
yeah.
Just before the next bit, I am afraid I will need balance. But thank you guys so much for having me today.
Thanks to you for participating.
Absolutely.
Yeah, let's have you on again soon when you actually when you have some time and yeah, cool. Thanks, Kai.
Sounds
It
great.
was awesome.
Thanks, Kai.
Bye, guys.
Nice to meet you,
Alright, see you,
dude.
man. Yeah, so I mean, back to this comfort zone thing. So maybe I can give Hamper some context of me just quickly. So what I have so I've recently handed in my notice at the company I'm working at. So I actually moved from Vietnam to Bangkok to get this job, and it's great. You know, it's well paid. It's quite free in terms of I have a lot of damn it, what's the word, right? No, I have a lot of autonomy, right? I can do what I want. I run basically the department, so I have a bunch of people that can do the work. So I'm no longer executing. I'm more thinking about the strategy of where we want to go as a design team and as a sort of the design view on where our product needs to go. However, I've basically figured out that I don't really enjoy the work that I do specifically at this company. So I've handed in my notice, and my last day is the end of May. And I'm basically going to focus the next half of the year, given this COVID situation, just making videos and experimenting with different hobbies. I've wanted to do this for a long time, but it never felt quite right because I didn't want to. I think maybe my last two jobs, right? At the beginning of that other job, I was like, I'm going to quit and just chill, travel, and find something I like. And then I found another job. Then I was like, okay, well, I'll hold it back, and then so I've actually finally made that step forward, which is not something I've taken lightly because it is such a big thing not having an income. But at the end of the day, you just got to make that decision. I think COVID also forces you to reevaluate a lot of things, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and it's not like I originally wanted to travel. However, that's just not possible and not wise at this time. So then you kind of remove a lot of distractions. You can't even go to bars now.
Yeah.
And, you know, I love drinking, so
Yeah.
fuck, right?
Yeah,
So I better
thanks.
put something, right? So you better put like that attention to something good. So I'm gonna figure out what it is. My first thing is making videos, or actually, I don't even think it's making videos. I think it's just producing content in general. And I'm just gonna experiment with it and see where that leads me. So that should be interesting next 6 months of my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it. It reminds me of one of my friends. He's actually probably one of the most inspirational people I've ever met because he is now a traveling wildlife photographer, and he created a plan. He was like sitting down, made a list, structured up his entire life. This was like 5 years ago, and he decided, what do I want and what do I need to get there. So he basically worked 4 years in a row, just like office work that he didn't enjoy. He took overtime. His life was working, and he minimized expenses and only bought like a camera and a lens that looked like a bazooka. It's like this big, to capture birds and all that stuff. And then he quit his job, even though it was well paid. He was well respected and everything. But he thinks of it as though he bought himself a window. So he was like, this is what I want my life to look, and this is the minimum amount of cash I'll need to make it happen. And he just like built this master plan spanning 5 years, and then he went around the world. I think he's been in India for tigers, Africa. He's been to Iceland taking photos of puffins and all that stuff, whales. He's based in Hong Kong, but he's traveling all over the place. Obviously now he's at home, and it's a big issue for him, but he has a lot of pictures to edit and post. But it's super inspiring. I don't know if I should can say his name, but he's on Instagram anyway, Frank Liu.
Yeah.
He takes like cool pictures, especially the tiger ones. And he did. It's like your situation may be slightly different because in this COVID, it's like it's the comfort zone can be like this comfort zone can be forced upon you, or it can be chosen. And he obviously chose everything and just went straight for it. But I like it. I think it's really cool. It inspires me a lot when someone's willing to just, like you say, have no income, because that's a huge stress factor. I've been in that situation a few times. Most of them I've been like okay anyway, because I've had cash saved up, or like when I was a kid, I obviously still lived with my parents, and it was okay not having an income. But as an adult, it's very stressful when you're standing on your own 2 feet and then there's no salary. Like, okay, what do I do for money? And
yeah, exactly, man.
And content creation is good though, because if you build a big enough portfolio, it's something you can do wherever you are, and there's always need for it.
Yeah, like look at now, everybody is on Twitch because they feel lonely as fuck,
Yeah.
and they need someone to talk to them. Like,
Yeah, the
content is
spike in
something-
like
yeah.
traffic with all these products, right? Like your Netflix, your YouTube, even Zoom, like it's all crazy spike because, so I think there's a very unique opportunity because there might be better sample data. Not as realistic, but who knows how long this will go on for, right? So
Yeah, it's a crazy
and
thing.
Hopefully.
yeah, it's interesting as well what you said, because so I'm not a designer by background. I actually studied a business degree, but I also basically I wrote down my ultimate goal after 5 years, which was basically the last job I got, or this job I have at the moment. So I felt like I had achieved what I wanted to achieve, not quite as sophisticated as your friend's master plan. I kind of bumbled around a bit, more about intuition, right? To Jess's point of like, oh, do I like it? I don't know. So, kind of navigate that that minefield. But I ended up where I wanted to be, so that was great. But I think like now it's like, well, how we tend to set our goals is really like, as soon as you've done it, you move the fence backwards, right? You move the goalpost.
Yeah.
So I feel like now it's kind of like I don't really have a goal. I just kind of want to explore. And Southeast Asia kind of affords you that, right? Less sort of living expenses and all that jazz that we are very, very lucky to be in this part of the world, because, Europe is crazy. Like, just to live in Europe, just to breathe, you got to pay taxes, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's just not possible.
Yeah, like this current situation, if you live paycheck to paycheck and you're in the like North America or Central Europe, it's like, oof, that's
So
gotta be hard. Like,
much unemployment.
Yeah.
It's going to be crazy. Jobs are going to become a hot commodity, like a super hot commodity.
yes. So,
Don't need it. I don't need it. Fuck it. Fuck the
Who
job.
needs a job?
Who needs a job, bro?
Videos. Just go on TikTok. Guys said it.
Yeah.
You just need one video to go viral, and then your business will be like, okay, I'm done.
could be the master plan. Viral TikToker. Is that what you
So-
say, TikToker?
Yeah.
yeah. Is that the new job, bro? Okay. All right. So maybe this is a bit of a selfish question, because we're talking about content and content creation. I kind of want to know what sort of things do you like to consume in terms of content? Like, are there people that you like immediately attract yourself to? Like, maybe it's the way they storytell, maybe it's cinematic shots. Like, what, like from you guys, what kind of traits or things that really stand out? Because we all follow someone, right? Must be for reasons. So if you can help me break it down, this is kind of my user research.
Yeah.
Where are your test rats, huh?
I think
I
It's
don't
actually
think
hard
I
to answer.
ever dissection a person. It's kind of, what kind of person do I want as a friend? If I find a person, okay, I want this person to be my friend, then I would follow them. But I follow, I mean, the people that I follow on YouTube and the people that I follow on Twitch, they're so different. But there is always that one trait. I'm like, if I would be friend with this person, life would be amazing. It's difficult because it depends on the person. Everyone has different values, so the people that you like will be completely different from the people that I like will be different from the people that Hampus or Chris like. But I guess that's my criteria. Does this person look like someone I want to be friend with? Then, yeah. For example, there is this. I hate mukbangs. I
You
found
hate
that
what
this
bands?
mukbangs. Those
Eating
videos, yeah, where people eat food on camera.
I'm doing that tomorrow. That's something I'm good at.
Oh yeah, I am great at eating. But videos of people eating, it's no, I don't like it. It just feels weird. Like you have that. No, that sound makes me uncomfortable. This is not the uncomfortable zone that I want to be with. But
Wait. But there's that whole trend of these soothing sounds, right?
yeah, the
Yeah.
ASMR.
Yes, yeah. So that's not in your wheelhouse of a
No,
Japanese guy slurping noodles, no?
Nope, no.
Okay.
Is it in yours?
I think so. Yeah.
Watch a couple and let me know. Because
Roger that.
I think that people who like to watch other people eating are weird. So
I mean,
I
it is
would
a pretty
judge
weird
you.
thing, to be honest. Just like,
Yeah.
hey, I'm gonna start this video and look at a guy eat noodles. Like,
Yeah. I'm gonna send you this. So ASMR and mukbangs are two separate categories, but they
Sure.
can mix. So there is this guy who does ASMR videos of mukbangs, and it's just uncomfortable. I can't. I don't know where to watch. Do I look at the food? Do I look at him? Do I look at myself? It's confusing. But there's a big but. There is this girl that I found, and I just love her. She tells true crime stories, and another thing that I hate true crime stories. I don't know. I hate mukbangs. I hate true crime stories, and I'm using the word hate because I cannot stand it. It's not something that I dislike this. No, I hate it. But she tells true crime stories while eating food, and I just can't stop watching her videos because her personality, it's very bubbly, and the way that she tells stories. Oh, that's another thing. The way that you tell stories. I think storytelling is something that you have to be great at if you want to create content. You need to have a good point. You need to have the way that you explain your point, the words that you pose and everything. That does a lot. So I just can't stop listening to this girl telling murdering stories. It's just so entertaining, although she's doing things that technically I don't like, but her personality is just, I love you. I want you to be my friend and tell me murdering stories all the fucking time. I can't just stop listening. It's embarrassing. And when I tell people about it, I'm like, I know. It's not cool usually, but this is super entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just love her.
Hampus, what are the kind of stuff that you're into, like content wise? Is it very mixed bag, or is there some things that you're more warmer to?
Everything goes back to like what I want to do in life, what I want to improve on. So obviously, since I'm into photography, like 80% of the content I watch is about photography. It's about people going out, trying different things, shooting at different locations. There's 3 guys. They're quite young actually. They're like 19 or 20, but they've been doing photography for a very long time, and they have a very authentic way of doing it. So they will just go out and they will just say the way it is. It's like, I have no clue what I'm doing. This is something cool I saw on Instagram. Here's our attempt of doing it. and they're filming it and shooting at the same time. So you get to see like how they think about angles and composition and lighting and everything, and then you get to see the final shots and you hear their thought process while they're doing it. And even though they can be a bit hard for me to relate to because they're like 7 years younger than me and they're still pretty much like in school. They have 10 years of experience with actual photography, so they're more experienced in this field than I am, and they take amazing shots. So for me, it's about like, it may sound selfish, but it's all about what I want to achieve and do where I want to go. And like, I watch mainly educational stuff, like how do I get better at photography? If it's an entertaining video and it's also learning me something or teaching me something, then I will probably watch it and I'll probably enjoy it as well.
Yeah, that's very similar to me. I'm like content that I consume wise. One is educational for the purpose of interest or knowing how to do something, especially when now I'm trying to learn a bunch of shit. Like I have no idea how a camera actually works. So breaking that down is interesting. And also, I almost force feed myself like comedy like material. Like that's
Force.
like to be yeah, I do. Like you don't understand. Like I consume so much of it and all of it is good. Like I don't really care because it's like the more wild and outrageous it is and more like, you know, when you're not supposed to say something, that's when you fucking say it, right? Like it's just like because it's a way of storytelling and I think it's really funny. Like jokes are so sophisticated and so stupid at the same time. Like, you know, there's a whole spectrum of why it could be funny, right? And just seeing that play out, yeah, and to be not PC in the world of PC-ness is the best thing in the world. Like,
yeah, I think it's important. Just like, yeah, it's just like, to put it flat, it's very important to not get hooked up in that, like automatically respond to things without thinking about it. And I think a large part of like PC culture is exactly that people learn like a response that they're supposed to have. They haven't even thought about the subject, and sometimes they're not even invested in it themselves. Like they actually don't care, but they still respond the same way because that's how you're supposed to respond. And in a world like that, it's very important to just stop and think and say whatever you want and like be okay with taking that not everyone will like it and you might end up in a little bit of a weird situation sometimes.
Yeah, and most comedians who make jokes about that, they obviously do it on purpose.
Yeah.
Right? It's the whole setup. It's like laughing at themselves or laughing how ridiculously our culture has become. It's not necessarily they, you know, have that ideology or whatever the belief is behind it, but to laugh at it and be like, you know, it doesn't really matter. It's kind of stupid and silly, and as long as I get a laugh, it's okay, you know. So yeah.
But you force feed yourself.
I do, because I believe the content you consume is almost like the food you consume, right? It's like, you better be purposeful about it. Don't just watch a bunch of like aerobics videos. That would just be weird. I'll be really good at aerobics afterwards.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. Like this goes back to all these discussions people have had about social media and how people get like, I think if you're, you should be very selective about what you watch. Like, who do you want to be? Like, what do you want to give other people or send out? Like, it's important that you're not just scrolling your like pissed off, like slyly racist uncle's Facebook feed. Like, you're not supposed to watch that shit because like it subconsciously affects you in one way or another. And if you do that every day, it's like you're what's it called? If it's like your routine, you reach out for the phone when you wake up, you open Facebook and you start reading all this bullshit that just brings you down. Like, that's not a good strat for the upcoming 20 years. It's gonna make you a more small-minded, or it's not good for you. I genuinely think it's not good for you. So I agree. Be selective with the content you consume for sure. Same thing with fictional isn't that bad, but what a lot of the content I consume is just fiction, like anime or movies or whatever, because I like to align with certain characters that has the the hero trait. I'm a sucker for all these like kid that grows up and becomes the hero and saves the day, because it's like they're just good for the sake of goodness. They don't expect like big rewards or whatever, and they just try to bring as much good stuff into the world as possible. And being reminded of that, I think it helps to make you a better person as well. So
That's why you have to watch Haikyu.
All
So
right.
Haikyu, I am hooked. Haikyu spelled Haikyu. It's a Japanese anime and it's about volleyball. Now, don't just because it's about volleyball, I was like, oh, guys doing volleyball. So I don't know if it's the same in the UK and Sweden, but volleyball is kind of a more feminine sport. Is it? Okay. It is more of a feminine sport, so when I see that it's guys playing volleyball, my mind, it's already, this is gonna suck. But the story is so compelling. It's about this guy, his name is Hinata, and he just wants to play volleyball. He just wants to play, and that's his passion. He's like driven to play volleyball, and he wants to win. So the whole thing started because he was cycling through the city, and he sees on a TV this short guy. Oh yeah, Hinata is short as well, shorter than most guys on average. And he sees this TV, and it's a volleyball match on the TV, and he sees this also short guy basically jumping, and he looks like almost he's flying to I don't know how you call it, like slam dunk the ball on the other side of the court.
I think it's called spiking.
Yes,
when you come up,
spiking,
you just
yes.
Yes. But slam dunking is a very good comparison.
Paints a good picture.
The word didn't come out, but yeah, he's a spiker. So, and he's spiking the ball, and he just gets so inspired by this image of this short guy almost flying, and he starts playing volleyball. But in the beginning, he's not good at it, although he has the talent, but he's not good at it, and he just trains like crazy just to get there. And it feels so good to watch it. It just makes me want to play volleyball. Just train like crazy and become good at volleyball. And I love those movies that whenever I finish to watch, I feel like I want to go out and destroy the world and just take on and be like, yes, look at me, I can do this. And I love that feeling. It's
just basically epic. Walk around and just spike everybody, right?
Yes,
just
like I'm gonna spike
spiking
go,
people.
Go.
Just slaps left and right. Just get out of here.
Get out. I hate your face, Boom.
Or like really hard high fives. Just give people like the hardest high fives they've ever had in their life. So they bow down. Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah, I want to feel that epic throwing volleyballs around. But it's a very good anime. I think you'll love it.
So when we talk about content, right, that makes us feel good, that uplifts us, we obviously, I think humans enjoy ones that are completely ridiculous, like almost like some reality TV shows. And there's a key one that has come out. It's actually a docuseries, Tiger King. Have you seen it? What are your opinions?
I haven't. People keep telling me to watch it, but the thing is, it's a true crime story, kind of. And usually I don't like those. But now, because of this YouTuber, I'm like, oh my god, true crime stories are great. They're so crazy. And I've heard the weirdest thing about this show, like it's about drugs and tigers, and it's like Game of Thrones, but in the Tiger Kingdom. So you're also saying that I should watch it. Damn it.
I mean, try the first episode. If you're not into it, you're not into it. But it is like everybody's a villain. Actually, the way they tell the story is quite interesting. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of things that happen, and you can't really believe that this is actually real. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, in the 21st century, shit like this happens. You're just like, what's going on? So really, sure, you laugh at the character, right? But also the way that the story is told, you follow this main guy. and you kind of get like you feel like shit. It's actually not his fault. Maybe it's environmental or other reasons why he's doing what he's doing. But it's ridiculous and it's a great laugh, and you actually get invested in the story because it leaves you on the edge all the time. You're like, what's going to happen next? I think it's good to kill time, but also like everybody has polarizing thoughts about it. So I think it's one of those cultural entertainment things that is like very nicely discussed, like Game of Thrones, or what's another one? What's another cultural like entertainment thing? I don't know. Sopranos, if you guys like that. Just one of these key shows that are like, I don't know, just kind of cause a bit of a fuss. Yeah.
Oh, Making a Murderer.
Yep.
From
exactly.
Netflix. I mean, there's tons. Especially now, I feel like there's tons. I started Westworld, and I love it.
Nice.
It's great.
Season 1, I I don't want to talk about the spoilers, but I love stories about AI. My favorite
Same.
video game is Detroit Become Human. I could play that game and try to find out all the stories because it's so good. But the thing that I love the most about these stories is that they kind of make you think what makes something human and humanity and what does make us human, what doesn't. It's something that I really love. But I hope AI never takes over because we're going to get destroyed. That's the truth.
I think there's the third season. I think there's a third season of Westworld, right?
Yeah, it's going on right now. I am only on season 2, episode 2, so no spoilers.
Yeah, season 2 is a bit meh, but
that's
sure.
what I heard from a lot of people. But the thing is, season 1 is so good that season 2 can be as good. It has to go down and then it will go up again, hopefully. I'm not sure. But season 1 was really good. I loved it. I mean, it's been more than an hour already. I guess we can start wrapping it up.
For sure.
Hampus, you have something that you want to promote?
No, I guess not.
Oh, come on, this is the moment for you to sell your Instagram account.
Yeah, your photography stuff. Yeah. All that stuff.
Well, I'm not gonna try a full pitch, but I do a lot of different styles. Mainly now that I'm based in Bangkok, I do a lot of cityscapes, a lot of street photography. Something I want to get better at is taking like sneaky shots of people I don't know. And it sounds very weird, but it's actually a huge and popular genre. And it's, if done correctly, it can be super cool. Just capturing everyday life. And that's what I try to do with my Instagram when there's obviously no curfew like now. So my Instagram is at hpersonphoto, which is super Swedish. And maybe I should add it in a description or something. But
yeah. How to spell it?
HPERSSON photo. One word, all small letters.
Okay, we'll link it in the show notes anyway, so people will be able to find you.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah.
Jess, did you want to plug anything? Like your Twitch? Plug it.
My Twitch?
Plug your cat too. Plug your cat.
Dude, she's been a pain in the ass.
Special guest in Jessica's pussy.
Oh my god. Oh, you said it.
Have to. Sorry, it was inappropriate, and I felt the timing was right.
It was a comedic. Wow. See, she also agrees. It was a good moment. My Twitch is Stormtroopy. With, how do you call that symbol that is like underline, but it's an underline, right? No, it's not.
Underscore.
Stormtroopy underscore SDORMTR.
This basically happens every episode. Like she's always like Stormtroopy, and then struggles to spell it. Like literally every episode.
I think I made a mistake.
Yep.
So for the next episode, I will change my gamer handle I think it's time we can tell that I can't do this anymore.
It's fine. I think people know how to spell Stormtrippy now. You don't. Yeah.
Yeah, I said it
Um,
wrongly so many times that
There's
it's like
a lot of Animal
like when you
Crossing on
log
this
in-
channel.
It's like when you log in and you're like, okay, now I'm gonna try all the passwords, all of them.
Are you ever gonna like open your Twitch out to other people? Because I would love to like play some stupid games with you.
Yeah, all the time. I'm down for it.
What do I need? Do I need a Switch? Because I really don't want to get one, but I'll do it for the lols.
Oh no, you don't need. You have PlayStation. What do you want to play?
Warzone, because it's fucking high intensity, and you're just like. "Ugh."
Okay, we're
No?
gonna play. Actually, we have to play with Hampus too. We're gonna play Warzone because it's
No, I don't play
right?
Warzone. I rage quit. I downloaded it. It was 100 gigabytes, and it's in this house, which has true.
True.
I was like, oh, this is fine. So I downloaded it overnight. When I woke up, it stopped at like 3 gigabytes. I was like, fuck. Started the download. After 100 gigabytes or something, I started the game. Main menu hits me with, oh, you need to download 5 additional patches. I was like, holy shit. And then I started it. It crashed 2 times. I played the tutorial, and then I got kicked out from every game I tried to join. So I was like, I'm not playing this game, man. Fuck this.
Okay, well, we can talk logistics after.
We could find another game that everybody semi enjoys or is new to, right?
Or
Yeah,
is
that'd be
able
fun.
to download.
Yeah.
Okay, Chris, your handles.
Yeah, at semi-grown kid, everywhere. Find me, stalk me, follow, whatever. Yeah, that's me.
Oh, actually, I have to say this, but one day, my ultimate goal is to go to people, and they will ask me, "Who are you?" I'll just tell them, "Google me," because that's important. I can't wait for that day. I can't wait to tell someone, "Google me," and you'll find me.
Nice.
But you can do that now, right?
Please
No?
don't do it now. I don't know what's out there.
Is your cat on the balcony alone?
No, that's her. She's inside. That's the
Okay.
kitchen. She's in the kitchen.
All right. Well, thanks, guys. Thanks, Hampers, again for joining. Let's have you on again soon. And yeah, I'll let you guys get off. Have a very nice Sunday, and don't work too hard tomorrow. Be in your boxers or underwear, Jess, and just wear like a t-shirt or some shit.
Okay,
All right.
I'll do it.
Cool.